Hello friends! I'm taking a trip to Iceland with my family and I'm super excited to bring you guys along. I've got my things all packed and ready. So let's go! So the flight from Seattle to Iceland is about 7.5 hours. We flew from Seattle because we went to go stop and pick up one of my brothers who lives up there. Also, just a side note, do not open your windows when flying over Greenland. It is completely covered in snow and you will be blind for several minutes after opening that window. After we landed, we got a rental car and we drove to Reykjavik, and we found this really cool seafood place by the sea just to have some lunch, and on the way to lunch we saw these amazing murals. There are so many incredible artistic murals all over Iceland, so I highly suggest you keep an eye out. Next, I had the idea for the family to come to Sky Lagoon, just to take some pressure off that super long flight and to help with the jet lag of the time zone. The Sky Lagoon was super luxurious, very clean, warm water. It is a man-made lagoon, but they did a really great job making it look super natural, and there is an infinity edge to the lagoon, which is a nice modern touch. Overall, super good vibes, and I highly recommend. Next, we had a really nice dinner. And then we did some walking around in the evening just to get a feel for the Reykjavik town center. As we were walking along, we found the iconic Rainbow Road, which I wasn't expecting. Definitely a must-see spot for pictures if you visit Iceland. The next morning we got up early and went to Sandvik. Sandvik Beach is a really interesting beach here in Iceland. It's one of the top surf spots in the winter time, not the summertime, and it has this beautiful black lava sand. Be warned, if you come here, it is incredibly windy, which is why we were the only people here. I was also brave enough to film a yoga video here, and here's just a quick clip, just so you can see how windy it was. That video is coming soon on my channel, and once it's out, I will link it in this video so you guys can go and check it out and enjoy that flow. The water was this beautiful sapphire crystal blue, incredibly clear and beautiful. I was daring enough to decide to do a cold plunge, so I put on my suit, which was definitely not warm enough for this water, and I decided to get in there. Immediately stepping in the water, it felt like knives. It was so cold, even in the summertime. Probably the coldest water I've ever felt since it is in the Arctic Circle. I was able to dive all the way in, and then I ran back out before my legs froze off. Definitely very adventurous, but not for the faint of heart. After Sandvik, we went and had lunch at a fisherman's wharf, which was delicious, and then we went to the iconic Blue Lagoon in Iceland. Now, the Blue Lagoon is a natural lagoon with some man-made alterations, like bridges and ramps. The water you see here is completely natural sea water with minerals. That's where it gets its milky blue color. You can swim up to the bar where they hand you mud masks. There are different entry prices, so you can get anywhere between 1 to 3 or 4 masks, I think. There is also a pool bar where you get one free drink of your choice. There's a waterfall, a sauna, a steam room, and so many more luxurious accommodations. If you guys haven't seen already, definitely check out my short on this where I give a little bit more of a look into the Blue Lagoon. Later that evening, I went to a delicious vegan cafe called Mama, which is right in Reykjavik. I met one of my dear friends who I haven't gotten to see in so many years, and I was so happy to see her. We caught up for a few hours and enjoyed this delicious meal together. The next day was our big Iceland adventure day, the Golden Circle. Now, if you haven't heard of the Golden Circle, it's this incredibly long road that stretches all around Iceland, and there are many, many beautiful, iconic spots to see. So because I was driving the crew this day, I had some family members get a little bit of footage on the way. Our first stop was Thingvellir, hope I'm saying that right, which is a really amazing spot, tons of history, and there's even a rift in the actual land of Iceland, where the plates are splitting apart. There's a very nice walk/hike in this area with a nice stone walkway, and lovely greenery surrounding all of the stones. I really love how geometric these stones look. It reminds me a little bit of the Isle of Staffa in Scotland, where I went last summer, and it's because Iceland was created from underwater volcanic activity millions of years ago. At the top of our hike, we found this lovely view just overlooking the area, and then we walked a little bit further back to enjoy this gorgeous waterfall. I don't think I should attempt to pronounce the name of this waterfall, but I have the name on the screen for you if you're interested. To quote from the Icelandic Thingvellir website, "No single place epitomizes the history of Iceland and the Icelandic nation better than Thingvellir by the river Oxara." Thingvellir meaning Assembly Plains, the Althing General Assembly was established around 930 and continued to convene here until 1798. Many major events in history of Iceland have taken place at Thingvellir, and therefore the place is held in high esteem by all Icelanders. I will include a link in my description so you can go to the website and read more about this place. After our stop in Thingvellir, we continued on to the Geyser Center. Now, the Geyser Center is this large area of land with tons of active geysers. They've added a building here as the center with food and information. There are so many different geysers, small, medium, and large. And their biggest attraction, which is the biggest active geyser, erupts about every 7 to 10 minutes or so. One thing to note about this area is there is a distinct smell of sulfur in the air. I didn't find it particularly foul, but if you're more sensitive to smell, basically just imagine there's 1,000 hard-boiled eggs being cooked at the same time. There is also another beautiful trail to hike along the Geyser Center here. As we continued to hike along this area, I noticed thousands and thousands of gorgeous purple wildflowers, as well as yellow wildflowers. There is a viewpoint at the top of the hike where you can get an incredible view of the large geysers going off. Overall, super fun stop, great for everyone of all ages. Next is probably my favorite stop that we did, which is Gullfoss Falls. This is an enormous, iconic waterfall. When I heard we were going to be traveling on the Golden Circle to see a waterfall at one of our stops, I imagined a very tall, skinny waterfall. Nothing like the power and majesty of Gullfoss Falls. You can feel the rushing energy so profoundly, and these beautiful mists of water coming off the land gives it a very fanciful feel to the area. This is also a really great spot to take pictures or to sit and contemplate and just enjoy what nature's created here. We also found a stop along the road where you could pet these horses and you could feed them horse candy. Our final big stop for the Golden Circle that we were able to do today was Kerrud Crater, which is a large dormant volcano with a lake in the center. It was incredibly beautiful to witness this because it looked like a big blue dragon's egg. The red colors of the volcano mixed with the green reminded me of some areas on the Hawaiian Islands. Really beautiful, must-see stop. So after Carrot Crater, we headed to a small town to have dinner with these delicious open-faced sandwiches. I'll insert the town name here, because at the moment I'm filming this, I've forgotten. So we got there a little early, and before we had dinner, I decided to find this park with a waterfall. Yes, a local park with a waterfall. And not only that, it's geothermic. I saw two little girls playing in the falls, and at first I thought, wow, they can really tolerate this cold water. And then once they left, I went over and felt the water and realized it was warm, like a bath. It was incredibly beautiful and gorgeous, and also the perfect spot for me to film another yoga video, which is soon to come to my channel. Here's what I ordered for dinner from that restaurant, and then we headed home. So the next day I had plans to meet my friend again, but because of certain timings and things that didn't work out, I ended up actually going to the Philological Museum with my siblings. We also had a delicious brunch at Cafe Loki, which is another iconic spot in Reykjavik. I highly recommend you check it out. Did some sightseeing, and then we headed to the airport. So that's how I spent 3 days in Iceland. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely feel free to interact with the video. Like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you in my next one.